Alright, bitch, what am I doing?
Fierstein again.
It's always Fierstein. Every time it's Fierstein.
He's got this whole series about gay marriage now.
He blamed the president.
I said Obama done did it.
I need to explain to you why what Obama and the Supreme Court just did in legalizing gay marriage is the beginning of the Christian Holocaust.
This is going to be a really hard sell.
Because God is the supreme authority, you're a Christian before you're even an American.
You just sound like a butthurt little child that got his toy taken away from him.
Obama's using the same tactics that Hitler did. Here we're trying to build this utopian society, but here are these stupid Christians that just want to hold on to their Bibles and their guns.
Yeah, it's a good thing that's not what you're trying to do. So let's finish this up. What do we have for part 2?
Look, you've already seen the news article floating around Facebook about the homosexual man that's already filed a lawsuit, $70 million against 2 different Bible publishers because he wants homosexuality removed from the scripture.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna need my popcorn for this one. Mom!
Really? Now, I think I remember saying this a long time ago. I remember telling you guys a long time ago that this was not about gay marriage and equality.
What isn't, Josh? What's not about gay marriage and equality? Are you saying that this is specifically connected to all other gay marriage related issues going on around the world right now, or in the United States for that matter? Are you saying that this has something to do with Obama? Are you saying that this is something to do with the government? This is one guy suing a Bible company for damages. That's literally all that's happening here. This is not connected to anything else.
I realized a lot of people a couple of weeks ago said, oh my word, this is about love wins. It's about gay marriage. It's about equal rights. This has never been about equal rights because civil unions gave them equal rights.
But instead of referring to you as married, you can be butt buddies.
Civil unions didn't give homosexuals equal rights or equal standing of any kind. There's lots of examples of why, but my favorite one is that, for example, if you fall in love with somebody in another country, you can't get a civil union to allow them to move to your country as a citizen. Not the same way that marriage does. It's different. And I didn't count them all, but I think only like 30 or 40 states allowed for civil unions for homosexuals, so again, you're wrong.
But here's what it's really been about. It's about reconstitutionalizing a term so that now it opens up the door for the left and the liberals to come after Christianity, and I'll prove it to you.
You said you were gonna prove it last time, and you just fucking rambled on about nonsense and Hitler. Obama's Hitler, that's my proof.
Do you realize that this last week, a judge ordered a $135,000 fine against a baker who refused to bake a gay wedding cake?
Though I agree private business owners shouldn't be forced to do business with anybody that they don't want to do business with for whatever reason they don't want to do business with them because they own their business and they should be allowed to sell and buy from whomever they want. I agree with that part, but this doesn't mean that the United States is against Christianity as a whole. Religious freedom is still very much a real thing in your country.
$135,000 fine because he said that it was equivalent to mental rape.
Okay there, Sparky, again, I don't agree with the judge in this one, but the judge isn't the one that said it was mental rape. It was the lesbian couple that was awarded the damages. They're the ones that claimed it was mental rape.
Really? Are you joking me? How ludicrous is this? Just to go on to show you that there's a parallel between... Look, Joe Biden came out this last week and said that it was a sad day in America because of all of the religious bigotry that has held back the constitutional rights for the LGBT movement. Really? Now we're oppressing them?
Okay, you switch gears here from the cake thing, because what he said had nothing to do with the cake thing. Yeah, the Religious Freedoms Act of the United States has really held back the rights of the LGBT community over the years. This cake thing is a bad example, but not allowing gay marriage in the United States is a pretty fucking good example.
You see what's beginning to go on there? You see how they're beginning to paint Christians? I've been telling you guys for a long time. It's happening.
Dude, you're so fucking paranoid. What happened? Did you eat paint chips or something as a kid? Seriously, what happened to you that you're so paranoid? I really wonder if you even really believe this religious stuff or if you're just peddling it because it makes you a shit ton of money. Society society isn't against Christians, okay? Individuals may be, individual politicians, individual judges may be, but there's no systematic or systemic force trying to get rid of Christianity. You can do what you want, you can believe what you want, just stay out of society's way. It's a democracy you live in. Unfortunately, that means sometimes the extremists have to sit back and let the rest of the non-extremists decide what's best for the country. And Christianity isn't what's best for your country anymore. Yeah, we can argue that all day if you want, but you're peddling paranoia, you're peddling fear. This fear stuff gets you nowhere. It earns Christianity no points. It gets you nowhere in the long scheme of things. It just gets people scared and afraid. And I'm hoping that you're not just doing that to get more money. Please prove me wrong.
And then to top it all off, there's a pastor in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, that they're telling him that if he does not marry gay couples, they're threatening him with arrest and imprisonment.
Okay, this is where my opinion on what private business owners should and shouldn't be allowed to do thing kind of gets confusing, so follow with me. Any private business that's receiving any kind of government funding or government relief should not have the right to refuse service to anybody for any reason. Churches in the United States don't have to pay taxes. Essentially, this makes them government services. The government is required to marry gay couples now, so therefore the churches should be required to do the same thing. Churches, as far as I'm concerned, waive all their rights when they don't pay taxes and don't consider themselves proper private businesses. Now, if you could prove that this pastor was not attached to a church, that he marries people as a private business, then I would agree with you. This isn't the case, though. Politically speaking, I'm technically a libertarian left. Just barely.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. Look, I took one of those tests.
That's his First Amendment right to refuse. Why are we backing down to the government and not drawing a line in the sand? They're coming after our First Amendment constitutional rights.
Hold on there now, Mr. Huff and Stuff. That just covers private citizens. As I covered before, I don't think pastors of churches should be considered private citizens, especially not when they're acting as representatives of their church and not as private citizens. If he ran his own business where he married people, then he should be allowed to refuse. But he works for a company, an organization of sorts that gets government relief, government funding. He isn't a private citizen when he is a representative of his church. The First Amendment stops the government from imposing religious beliefs onto people. If a court judge, a representative of the United States government, didn't marry somebody because they were gay and they didn't believe in that themselves, they wouldn't be following the law, would they? That would be a representative of the government, ergo the government imposing religious beliefs on private citizens. That shit's not allowed. Now, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. That's fine. Just leave your comments down below and I'll get to as many of them as I can. I'm open to discussion about this too. I don't believe that I'm 100% right. This is just my own personal feelings. I feel that anybody that receives government funding is therefore part of the government and therefore not free to use the First Amendment as an excuse not to do what their duty as a representative of the government is.
Sweetie, I got your popcorn ready.
Mom, I'm working on a video!
Oh, you're doing your little atheist videos. That's so cute.
Oh, you're embarrassing me!
Okay, I'll just leave your popcorn here.
It's fine! And leave some juice!
You want apple or orange?
I don't care, just bring it!
Okay, oh, my little booble is a star. Okay.
Mom, hurry!
Tell your little friends I said hi.
Mom, they don't care! That's my Jewish mom! If this pastor wants to be considered a private citizen, he should start paying his taxes. His church should start paying their taxes. Or he should start his own private business where he gets to decide who he does business with. I'm fully aware that this is going to end up being my most unliked video ever. That's fine. I don't care. You can dislike it. You can disagree. I'm open to discussion. Like I've said, I don't ban people for disagreeing with me, and I don't ban people for being mad at me. I don't know fucking everything. Well, I mean, about American politics. Everything else I'm fine with.
Well, check this out. This is one pastor that will not bow. Why? Because my First Amendment right is guaranteed.
Jesus fuck! You break that the fuck! Holy shit! Get the fuck out of here!
is guaranteed by my Second Amendment right.
It's so funny. Your whole video clearly is building up to this one moment, and you fuck up the line. Just brilliant. Brilliant. You're so occupied with trying to be hip for the young kids these days by doing your vertical videos. You can't just edit your fucking thoughts like everybody else. I showed a preview of this video to my Patreon patrons, and one of my more active fans, Dominic, made a really good point. It takes a sad little man to have to make his point with a gun. Now this is where I whip out that clip that I keep showing over and over again.
If you are a Christian, you are a Christian above everything else. In fact, because God is the supreme authority, you're a Christian before you're even an American.
Josh, do you honestly, earnestly believe that Jesus would be okay with you using a gun to make a point, let alone using a gun to fight the government? Is this really what Jesus would want you to do? I don't think a Christian should be using violence, especially not to fight against his fucking country. What did Jesus say? Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to God what is God's. It's so fucked up that you think that this is what a pastor should act like. The vast majority of your fans are children. What kind of fucking example are you trying to set for them?
Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's time that we finally take a stand and say no more. We're not backing up any farther. We're not going to allow a tyrannical government to come in and strip away our rights as Christians and try to demonize us so that they can make the Bible bigoted.
Yeah, again, that's not their goal. And also the Bible is bigoted. It does it on its own. Nobody needs to make it bigoted. It's fucking bigoted. The political atmosphere in the United States is so fucked up. Even as a liberal, you have to be a Christian to get elected. Now, ultimately, yes, it's going to lead to atheists pretending to be Christians in order to get a political seat, but there are a lot of Christian liberals, and they believe in the Bible, but they don't believe it the way you do. They look at the stuff like that in the Bible and they say, okay, that's a product of its time, or they'll say it's metaphorical, or they'll say that, it was abolished by the New Testament. Jesus never says there's anything wrong with gay people. You are continuing to throw your own Christians, the liberal Christians, under the bus simply to make a point about the United States trying to abolish Christianity. No, it's trying to make Christianity less fucking crazy and better assimilate it into the modern mindset of civilized humanity. Nobody's trying to get rid of Christianity. No politician is trying to abolish Christianity. In fact, most of them are just trying to reconcile their own beliefs with what human decency allows. Josh, what's it gonna take for you to think things through and look at life from a moderate standpoint for once?
It's not gonna happen.
It's probably true.